Communication is the key to creating a lasting, loving partnership, and yet men and women have very different communication styles. In fact, the most common cause of an argument is couples misunderstanding what each other is saying. Now, Orna and Matthew Walters host Love on Purpose Revolution, and they are going to teach you how to communicate to your partner in a much better and healthier way. Welcome. So this is your first time in New Mexico. Welcome
Yes.
to the land of enchantment. Very happy to have you here.
Oh, it's so great to be here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So why do men and women communicate so differently?
Well, it has to do with the traditional roles that we've always played. I mean, we think of men as, you know, single focus. They're the hunters. They're going out and they're looking to get one thing accomplished. And when men communicate, we like to use information and get right to the point about what we're talking about. We're mostly communicating to share information.
Okay.
Women, however, traditionally are the gatherers. You know, they're gathering family, they're gathering food, they're also gathering information.
Right.
And they're sharing information. So when a woman communicates, oftentimes she's just communicating to share information.
Okay.
And to share a lot of information. And as a man, we hear that and we go, what do I do with all this?
Yeah, right.
You know, like we have a couples client that at the end of the day, she would just sort of do the day dump on her husband.
Right,
and he
right.
would start panicking, like, oh my God, there's all these things I have to get done and do, and how am I going to get all this? And he would not be able to sleep.
Right.
Because here it is the end of the day, and she's like lulling off to sleep. She feels good. She's in her little share. And what we told them is, look, that's not the best use of your man.
Right.
So if you want him to get something done, if you want to make a request, then go ahead. But if you just sort of want to chat it out, then call a girlfriend.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So there's reasons, and really going back to sort of that what's kind of ingrained in us in our ancestry is, I've never thought of that before. But what are some of the, so that's why, but how do we communicate differently? Is there like certain things that men do or don't do? And all of us men at home are taking notes about this to stay out of the doghouse. But how is it that we communicate differently?
Well, again, you know, women tend to sort of just spill it all out and have, you know, all the little details, and they'll go, you know, they'll take forever to tell a story. Like, here's a really great way. You know, when you lost your virginity and you're talking with your buds, what are you going to say? I got some. Right? That's all the guys want to know. I got some.
Right,
That's it. The
right.
conversation's over. But women, we're going to share every detail.
Right.
What I was wearing, what he was wearing, what music was playing, you know, everything about that experience. And so we
Right.
share very differently in the way we communicate.
Okay.
Because women are going to want to put in all those details, and guys are like, well, get to the point already.
Right.
We're
Okay.
much more efficient. You know, we want to get just the point, and we want to know why are we hearing the story? Why are we hearing the information?
Right.
And when we hear a problem, our instinct is to fix it.
Right. Yeah.
know, well, how can I
can't
help
tell you how
you?
many times I hear that.
Exactly. And what we want to do is we want to help our spouse, our wife, our girlfriend. We want to be useful to them.
Right.
So that when we hear these problems, we're thinking, well, you should just do this, or don't talk to him like that, or you know, and we start giving advice.
Right.
And that's the last thing
Right.
that we need to be doing in that moment.
So how do we start bridging that gap? I mean, that does, because oftentimes it really does, it can be so frustrating in relationships. So how can we start communicating better as a couple?
So the way you want to crosstalk is you want to be able to take responsibility for whatever it is that you're feeling, and then share the context of it, of how it came up, and then make a request. So here's an example. I feel neglected when the garbage isn't taken out. Would you please make an effort to notice when the garbage is full and take it out all on your own?
Right.
Right now, I've made a request based on how I'm feeling, and I'm making the request which gives the guy the solution.
Right.
And I want all the ladies out there to have a really good understanding that if you make a request of a man who loves and cares about you, he's going to do everything he can to honor that request.
Right.
But if you point the finger at him and you say, well, you make me angry, blah, 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 or you make me fill in the blank, he's now on the defensive, and it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Right. And you know, honestly, we ask for what we want, and we're supposed to ask for what we want, and we want to have that strength and that security, but a lot of times that's easier said than done. Do you have any tips on how to overcome that?
How to overcome the fear of
For me,
of
it's
just asking
honestly
for what you want.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
part of the first step in that is realizing that has nothing to do with your spouse. That fear you have.
Okay.
It comes from early childhood. We call it your love imprint, which is how you learn to receive love in your family of origin.
Okay.
And oftentimes when we're having an argument, we have a phrase that we love, which is it's not hysterical, it's historical. meaning that your feelings and the intensity of that feeling doesn't have to do with her. It has
Right.
to do with the way you were raised and what you learned.
Okay.
And so when you can separate that in your mind and realize this person isn't your mother, isn't your father, isn't your teacher, whoever it was going to scold you for asking for what you wanted,
Right.
then you can make a request of this person now
Right.
in the moment, right, and not have
Yeah.
it be about the past.
Absolutely. Well, how can our viewers learn more about all these secrets to a healthy relationship?
Well, we put together a free 6-part video series. They can just access it online at Create More Connection.
Create More Connections. We can see it on our screen right there.
CreateMoreConnection.com.
Okay, and creatingloveonpurpose.com, is that
That's
also?
our website
That's-
where you can
okay.
sign up for our newsletter. We send a weekly newsletter called Love Notes Weekly,
Okay.
and we answer a relationship question in every one of our newsletters. So it's like our own
Fantastic.
Dear Abby.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here, and best of luck on the rest of your tour, and enjoy Albuquerque while you're here.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
Thank
much.
you. All right. We will be right back, folks.